entrepreneur you learn.
Darlington Information of the FMR Business School.
Welcome to another edition of the program.
Yes, sir, and Clive Library team want to thank you for joining us on the program, Mr. Dominic, KB, and welcome.
Please tell us, who is Mr. Dominic Hina?
Well, thank you very much, and let me say thanks to Crystal and Club Bureau for organizing such a unique case awareness and promotion program. So Dominic is like any other young Liberian out there, emerging leader and a promising business entrepreneur. So Dominic is happily married with 3 children. I am a co-partner of Premier Consultants Incorporated. I am also working at Ministry of Finance and Development Planning as Assistant Director in the Fiscal Decentralization Unit. Dominic also happens to be a member of the Board of Directors of the Episcopal Church of Liberia Relief and Development Board. I was privileged to have served on a 6-man team appointed by His Excellency President George Manuel to investigate the petroleum shortage on the market in 2020. In addition to that, I obtained my primary education from SOS and then later on BWRS, where I graduated with my diploma, and then I went to Stella Maris Polytechnic and graduated in 2014. I got my AA degree and my BBA in 2014. Also, Dominic is an accountant at John Vosco Incorporated, now like Baker Tilly. In 2010, as audit training, I grew up to the ranks of audit supervisor and later on John Baker Incorporated, and now I'm partner of my own accounting firm. So, that is a brief history of Dominic.
Okay.
Now, let us do a quick flashback. Growing up in attending the SOS International High School and subsequently graduating from PW Harris and Episcopal High School. How would you describe the journey through childhood and school?
So, like any other kid out there, I was privileged to have started my childhood education with my parents alive. They sponsored me. As I said, I graduated from kindergarten in SOS, Carolina International School. And then I left Matadi, there where most of my friends, everybody know me from. So I was privileged to have attended SOS up to 8th grade. And then due to a criteria that they created to transition those who are in the junior high to afternoon class, I had to find another school because I was very young, literally around 13, 14 at that time. So to be going to after school wasn't deemed necessary and advisable from parents. So I had to find another school. And then be an Episcopalian, I was in 9th grade, so it was actually challenging. I must share this. Normally 9th grade is why, yeah. So most schools don't accept 9th graders. But me being an Episcopalian, I was able to talk with administration and we were able to find a means out. So I was privileged to have been enrolled at BWRS Episcopal High School. There where I spent the rest of my high school time and then I graduated. One interesting thing about my experience was I grew up very young and smart. So most of my peers used to be the older one because of my class level. Even at home in my community, you will notice that most of the intellectual and social engagement I'm getting was social adults. That was because of my IQ and my age. Fortunately, I used to play football, so I had time to play with my equals when it comes to sports. But in terms of intellectual education, it was always with peers that's above me. I found it interesting and it helped me to prepare me to what I am now because I have learned and I had a lot of experiences from them. So yes, it was a unique one.
Well, you are an accountant, an educator, an entrepreneur, and you are a service-oriented person. What would you say has been your motivation and inspiration?
So thank you very much. This is interesting and I must admit that this is where I like to talk to young people, right? Coming out as a child, I obviously had role models, right? So when God has blessed us to get to a certain stage in life, it behoves us to give back. Relative to my time in the classroom as teacher, yes, it was something that I grew up loving to do, to help others. I always had that in my mind to give people that finishing touches where they lack. So it was a passion. It's all about passion, and it's all about giving back. And my humanitarian service is all about what our good Lord instructs us to give, right? That is charity, love, to share. So I came out very unique in a sense that I was privileged to have joined one of the largest service organizations as I was way back in 2012. So I grew up in Lionism as a Leo, and now I'm a chapter president of the Morocco Providence Lions Club. So my whole life is just about serving humanity. It's just about giving back and helping.
Was becoming an accountant the career path you dreamed about when you were growing up, or is there other career that you are or was once passionate about?
So thank you. This is a little funny, and I vote myself, right? When I entered BW Harris Episcopal High School, from 10th grade to 12th grade, you had a privilege to do an elective course. So I did journalism, I must admit. I did journalism for 13 years because I was that person that always liked to get involved, share ideas, have conversation with friends. So I saw myself being that information carrier. On the flip side of it, when I graduated, I took Stella Marie's entry. I was fortunate and I found myself in business college. And hey, it was a whole new experience for me. But I started loving accounting from day one, because Stella Marie's, what I love about them is from your first day, your major will start doing immediately. You don't waste your time too much on required courses. So as I started doing my accounting courses, I created more love, more interest. But I must admit that accounting wasn't my initial career.
What encouraging words will you give to a child who will watch this interview and want to be like you?
The first thing is, you can be like me and you can be more than me. I aspired when I was coming up to have been like a lot of promising young professionals around. Today I found myself rubbing shoulders with them, and some of them call me senior. So yes, with humility, being humble, persevere, and respecting authorities, being disciplined to the letter, respecting your teachers, focusing on your education. Look, I must admit, what I am today, what I'm doing now, would have been possible without education. So I'm so proud to see you guys here and aspiring and doing very well. So that's my major focus and encouragement to all of our young brothers and sisters out there. Stay in school, remain focused. And while in school, remain obedient. Respect your principal, respect your teachers, respect other people. Get key pieces of advice from them and improve your life. Avoid bad friends. And at the end of the day, I see a lot of Dominics around here, and even far more than Dominics. Once we all learn how to serve and obey authority.
You are indeed young. What are your plans for the future, Mr. Hina? And will such plans positively impact the life of Liberian children?
So yes, let me answer the last one. Right now I'm living for the future of Liberia. I'm living for all kids. I see myself as an ambassador. So my plan is to continue that journey. This is why any program that has the objective of promoting and enhancing the well-being and the acute of students, especially kids, I'm interested. So yes, the future is large. I don't want to jump on. As I said in my intro, I'm a mixed personality. I'm following my professional career while I'm also pursuing some leadership. If you see my profile, you notice that I've had and continuously had a lot of high-profile leadership roles. So the future is right ahead of us. What I can tell you guys is that I'm prepared for it, and I'm ready to grab any opportunity that comes along my way.
Before we go, you are married. and a father of 3 beautiful kids. What advice will you give to young people and children to help them make positive life choices?
So thank you. Sometimes when I leave my home, I have 2 of my kids that I drop because of attend school that's closer, so I don't need to drop off. But as I drop them on my campus and take them back and leave, my heart follows. I'm worried. The issue of drugs in our country is growing every day. And I keep holding that ear in the library to advise them about staying away from drugs. Our country, our young people, our peers, they are getting growing astray. They are getting worse by the day because of this creature called drugs. Recently, our club, Moral Province Lions Club, did drugs awareness and went to the Capitol building to petition the senators to speedily pass the amended drugs law so we can deal with importers and also users. Right? And also we can, those are our friends that are already poor, to see how we can rehabilitate them and get them back in society. So hey, as we make it this place, we don't want more of our peers to go there. So my encouragement, my advice would be, we go to school, this is spraying now in the school, the drugs. You go to school, get around good friends. Don't allow peer pressure to carry you. Remain focused. Know that you have a bright future ahead once you do the right thing. So that is the key. From last year, that has been my message anywhere I go. For every one of us as young children, as inspiring and emerging leaders, to stay against drugs, to do more awareness against drugs, so that our country, our society can be saved.
Thank you so very much for talking with us, Mr. Dominic Hina. It was indeed a pleasure. Thank you.
Kista is an educative case program brought to you by Club for Life Bureau, building a brighter future. Please like, subscribe, and follow all of Club for Life Bureau platforms for more educative and entertaining contents. Thank you for watching.